That's right, this sweet cream looking thing here is a horse's hoof. At this point, I've been on it for a while, but I'm going to show you where I started from. Yeah, this horse is way overdue. It's got some other problem. Besides what's obvious to you in the center there's the frog is just completely overtaken with thrush. But there's an abscess hiding this hoof that is pretty much a direct hole that you'll see me work on in a minute. I think we're 6 months overdue. But anytime I have a horse that's this overgrown, that has a smell that's really overtaking me at this point, I do a lot of discovery on before I go to this part of the trim. At this point, you can see I'm really just burying my nippers in there and taking as much hoof wall as I can. Now, normally when I'm trimming a horse, I just take a single round with those nippers and I'm done. But you see here that I'm having to basically do at least 2 rounds so far on one side. So I'll work my way over to the other side now and start exploring there. There is so much that could be a problem here, but I want you to look really carefully where I'm nippering. Take a look at that back corner right there, which is the heel of that hoof. Can you see it's folded over? There's a lot of problems, but that sure would be an extra one. When that hoof starts folding over like that, that means this horse is really crushing those heels. So what I need to do now is get those nippers in there and get that hoof down to the correct angled growth that it should be growing at in the first place. Not folded over and not distorted, not flared out. Do you see that flare I'm taking out? That's doing nothing but bending every time this horse takes a step. Really doesn't do anything at this point for holding up the horse. I'll say it's real similar to having a long fingernail and catching it on things. And it'll just continue to pull away from the fleshy part of the hoof. So I'll take the toe doing it this way. But there's so much, I'm going to have to pull this forward eventually and take care of it. Here, I'm just going to skip to the good part and take that last little bit off. If you notice, I haven't even whipped my knife out yet. It's usually the first thing I do. It didn't even bother this time. I knew that there was so much I had to remove first. So this is so long and deep, I'm truly just hacking away at this point. But look to the left of center, and what do you see there? See that dark spot? That's an actual hole that is leaking pus or some sort of fluid that's gone inside the hoof. But I'm just going to go straight for the parts I need to take care of first. I'm going to take care of this frog best I can. It's a disastrous mess, but I'm going to clean it down. Eventually we'll put medicine on it, get good growth there. Exploring around this hole, and I'm going to remove some of the non-life tissue, which is simply the soles so this can drain. I'm really just doing some prep work for us to put some medicine and a poultice on that and then have it prepped for the vet so he can easily see it and do anything he wants to. But I don't suggest open it up places where you believe there to be an abscess without a vet present, though I believe every farrier has and does. But a vet's assistance is definitely suggested. So this should display how long this hoof is. I just trimmed all of that hoof wall off. Now look at this. I have quite a bit to take off. So I'm going to work this hoof back just to those heels for a second. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this hoof forward, trim it there, and then bring it back to this point and start working this part again. Goodness, this is like the trim that keeps on giving. Now you can definitely see where I need to take off now. And you can get a much better view of that nasty hole where that abscess is coming out of, right where our nippers are. Simply going to nipper around this toe. And as soon as I finish that, I have to do a complete other round. And I'll finish this up. Round up those edges so they don't chip and crack. And I will flip this over one more time. Neaten up the frog. Place the heels back to where I think they should be at the widest part of the frog. Apply a poultice to that abscess, wrap the foot, and let the owner wait on the vet. All that for just one hoof.